What? It doesn't change. I'm not looking like a drunk drinking 2 beers. On today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about how to actually pour a beer into a glass. My name is Victor. I'm a brewery technician and a certified beer server, and this is Beer Talk. I've read and heard a lot of times that you should pour a beer straight into the glass, creating a lot of foam to agitate the beer or agitate kind of the CO2 to go away from the beer inside the glass. This will potentially make you not feel this feeling of being full from all the CO2. But are you sure that you want to drink a flat beer just from feeling a little bit full after drinking a couple of beers? So I've seen a lot of videos recently on people pouring beer straight into their glass. So they only do the pour, take the bottle, empty it out into the bottom of the glass. Is that really how you should pour a beer? Kind of disclaimer before we start the video. I'm watching a YouTube channel called The Whiskey Tribe, and their philosophy is one of the greatest I've ever heard. It's kind of simple as well. It's kind of self-explanatory, but pretty much the best whiskey you can have is the whiskey you like, and you drink it the way that you like it. So you drink it in a glass, in a bottle, neat cocktail, or whatever. I'm trying to have the same philosophy about beer as well. The best beer you can drink is the beer that you like, and you drink it the way that you like it. So, when I'm talking about pouring beers on today's episode, I'm not telling you that you're drinking your beer wrong. Like I'm saying, the best beer that you can drink is the beer that you like, and you drink it the way that you like it. Alright, let's go into pouring a beer. So, what I've learned from both brewery technician and my studies as a certified beer server, you are supposed to have your glass 45-degree angle, pour your beer down the side on an angle as well. So right when it starts to pour, you keep it there. It's supposed to trickle down the side of the glass into the bottom, of course, but without creating that much foam. When you've poured half your beer or 2/3 of your beer, you're supposed to go from the 45-degree angle and then pour down the middle of the glass. This will create, so when you switch it from the 45-degree angle to the 90-degree angle instead, no, that's so when you switch it from a 45-degree angle and keep it upright, if you would create too much foam, just switch it to the 45-degree angle once more. So you can just kind of pour your beer, go between the angles to see that you will get the proper head formation that you want. If you will get too much foam, keep it at an angle. If you get too little foam, keep it upright. And another thing that is important, don't pour the last centimeter of your beer. Some beer styles, you should pour everything in the bottle or the can. Fine. But most beers, especially craft beers, you're not supposed to pour the last centimeter of the beer, since this will have all the bottom sediment from the beer. Another thing that is important, if you would pour 2 glasses of beer, then you would have to keep the bottle at an angle at all times, pouring the first beer, and then going to the second, you will still keep it at an angle when you're pouring the second beer. This is to keep the bottom sediment at the bottom of the bottle. If you would just take it upright once more, then the beer will just slosh back and agitate all the bottom sediment, and you will get a hazy beer. Some beers that are hazy still have more bottom sediment, even though they have like the protein and everything inside of beer. Like I said, some beer styles are even supposed to be poured with the bottom sediment as well. Now we get on to pouring. I just need to open my beer. Should work. And then we can start the pouring. So, like I said, smells delicious. So, like I said, 4 to 5 degree angle. Tilt the bottle as well. Then trickle it down the side. Then you can see I've poured like half a glass. Then in this case, I would switch to the middle as well. See, as I'm holding the bottle on an angle at all times, not sloshing the bottom sediment back. This time, I will actually show you not to pour one glass, but to pour two. In this glass, I will pour the wrong way. Like you can see here, I'll just take the bottom sediment as well, so you can see the difference between the first beer and the second beer. There's actually not that much. You can see the difference between the beers. Like I said, I'm not going to show you to properly pour one beer. I'm going to show you how to pour one beer properly and then the second glass the wrong way. In this glass, and this is what I'm seeing people say that I'm wrong about. They tell me that if you pour the beer trickling down the side 4 to 5 degree angle, you won't create foam. Yeah, well, that's correct. But that is because the CO2 is still in the beer. And we don't want to drink flat beer. We want to drink carbonated beer. Well, this beer looks really carbonated. But that is because I just poured the beer down into the glass. Not really caring about taking it down the side and pouring slowly. That's why I create a foam. And all this foam is CO2. CO2 that could have been inside your beer. So people say that when you drink this beer, this CO2 right here will go into your stomach and make you feel a little bit bloated and full. Well, you can drink a flat beer like this and you won't feel bloated, but you'll still drink a flat beer. I'll much rather drink this beer. Yeah, I mean, this beer here, it's probably fine. You can drink beer that is less carbonated. Sure, there's nothing wrong about it. But are you really prepared to lose that much CO2? I mean, it's still a good beer, but you can actually feel the CO2 being a little bit less in this than in this beer. And I at least want to drink my beers carbonated. So, like I said, I'm not trying to teach you how to pour beer like the only way, or I'm trying to say that you guys are wrong. I'm just telling you that if you want to drink your beer this way, then you do this. If you want to drink your beer this way, then you do this. There's nothing wrong with drinking your beer like this or this. but the beer is carbonated from the beginning. The producer of the beer wants to have it carbonated. This is probably the way that they have intended it to be consumed. This right here, it still tastes great. I'm not gonna lie. But, like I said, it is less carbonated. This is actually just one beer, so I'm not looking like a drunk drinking two beers at the same time. And and it, I'm tasting. It doesn't count. Yeah, this one right here is much more carbonated. I mean, the IPA is pretty standard as well. Has a nice bitterness, some floral tasting. I mean, there's some pine, citrusy, kind of fresh tasting. Yeah, it's a real good beer. Um, Going back to the philosophy of the whiskey tribe, the best beer that you drink is the beer that you like, and then drink it the way that you like it. So, drink this beer or this beer. I'm just showing you how you want to do if you want to drink it this way, and how you're going to do it if you want to drink it this way. Now, in the next video, I will talk a little bit more about bottom sediment and storing your beer the correct way. But until then, as we say in Swedish, skål! Until next time. I mean, I'm not a camera expert. I talk about beers, not cameras, for a reason.